Good morning, guys. I want to show you this first generation VW Touran. Now, it's not an exciting car at all or anything that's really all that interesting to show, but this one has 345,000 kilometers on the clock, which equates to those many miles. Yeah, so why not show it to you? How does it look after a, well, distance like that? So again, this is first generation Touran. I don't know in which markets the Touran was sold. I guess only like European, because yeah, it would make sense. I know that they're not there in America, and this is for a couple of years now only a ballooning club vehicle. And what it mostly does is it tows this trailer. Now, before we go into interior, how does this Touran look from the outside? As you see, it from first glance looks pretty good. It's a little dirty, yes, unfortunately, but yeah, it's been taken care of. It has been detailed, I think, a couple of times in its life, and truth be told, it's still looking good, and it did not have, as far as we know, any panels replaced, so those should be all original, which is pretty good. Now, I know that usually German cars are pretty good against rust, and you know, after all, this is a car which has a high mileage, and so if it had a rust spot, you might have to forgive it for that. But if you look at the wheel arches, you know, they don't even start to corrode or anything. They're all looking good. We have no rusty doors on any side, so it's usually a problem here with all the cars. Like no real issues on the body, which is pretty good. Again, it has been detailed and polished a couple of times. That's also the reason why it looks so good. But yeah, that shows that if you take care of the car, it can last you. And this was someone's personal car until it changed hands, and it was driving as a regular car basically, and then it only was used for our club here. So where you can see it a little bit, the age and wear and tear, is the strut, which we replaced, and it's again starting to struggle because this gets opened and closed God knows how many times. But yeah, so those struts, they're struggling again. So here we have the engine, the famous 1.9 TDI, a pretty good and reliable engine, very well known for its longevity, and that is probably the primary reason why this thing is still going strong. 1.9 TDI, if you service it, usually you can't go wrong. And yeah, it has had all the services done. The alternator has been replaced. As you can see, it's looking a little better, a little newer. Battery, of course, but apart from that, as far as we know, on the drivetrain should still be original. However, there has been replaced, of course, brakes, who knows how many times, and they're already again getting kind of low. Then the clutch has been replaced not that long ago. That thing lasted, I think, until 290,000 kilometers, until it finally gave up and we were stranded. So yeah, it was kind of our fault. We kind of drove and drove until it gave out. But we replaced it, was good again. The Zwei-Massen-Schwungrad, which I have no idea what it is in English, that has also been replaced. It's like a very well-known thing on diesels that go bad on high mileage. So that was also done. You know, sway bar and stuff has been replaced. I think the shocks in the front has been replaced. So kind of stuff you expect, especially from the age and mileage. Now let's go in the interior and see how a Volkswagen of this era held up on 345,000 kilometers. So when we go in here, we see it's not looking too bad, is it? So yeah, it's been taken care of. We clean it out regularly. That's why grime and stuff doesn't build up as easily. But you can see here, you know, when you have that many years and kilometers on it, this starts to wear. The seat bolsters, looks surprisingly good. These are the original seats. Although we put this thing in here, that is because it is set through. You know, it's worn. So we, instead of putting a new seat or repairing the seat, we just put this thing in. It works out great. If we look here, it's looking pretty sharp, isn't it? And again, that's down to the thing that we take care of it. Oh, yeah, that also always happens. Let me just close it again. We got a feeling that this sensor is giving out here. So sometimes it just says that it's open when it's really not. Now it's, yeah, now it's closed again, good. So there you have it, 345,295 kilometers. So going to 350,000 kilometers. Yeah, I'm gonna say it now, they really don't make them like they used to, right? I don't think you can expect a mileage like that from a whole lot of modern cars. So here it is. It's you know, not loaded at all. It doesn't even have a center console where you can lay your hand or armrest or anything. It's not that comfortable here. We got AC, which works. I think the AC has also been replaced, but surprisingly enough, not the compressor, only the condenser. At least in our lifetime when we had it. Who knows, you know, what has been done previously. And as you can see, all the panels are straight, all the doors are good. None of them are kind of worn or, yeah. It's overall, for the mileage, I'd say it excellent. As you can see here, it's a little worn. The gear shifter here, gear knob is a little worn, but not too bad. It's a 6-speed. The parking brake is a little worn, but that's all stuff which you really shouldn't be surprised about at all. It's you know, after all, a car which has traveled quite a distance. Overall, a pretty good car. It's pretty comfortable as well. It can house easily 5 people. So there it is, the Volkswagen Touran, first generation. It's a pretty good car, and usually, you know, we travel quite a distance with it. Every like time we go, we put at least 250 kilometers on it, but that's like on the low side. Usually it's more often, so the miles, the kilometers, they rack up quick. Yeah, also we haul usually 5 people, at least 4 most of the time, plus the trailer, plus the balloon. So this thing is working hard and it's going strong. So as long as it keeps working the way it does, as long as it doesn't, you know, overheat or have some catastrophic failure, this thing, we're gonna keep driving it. We're gonna keep using it, and that's good to see, isn't it? It's a pretty cheap car to run. It passed the roadworthiness inspection, I think, with only like 1 advisory item, which probably were the tires, or I don't know, remember. I don't do this with this car, but anyway, I like it. It's comfortable, and I don't think stuff like this is built in 2022. Not at all. I mean, with the complicated engines nowadays, don't think we're gonna see a car like this that's, who knows how many years from now and how many kilometers later, still as good as this. I can't be wrong, but we will see. So, still drives like a regular good old 1.9 TDI. Doesn't consume a whole lot of diesel, especially good in those days. What else do you need, guys? Perfect vehicle for this.